I love you, Seth. I don't know what else to do. I like the way that sounded. Something's touching something it shouldn't be touching. Good morning. Welcome back to the Mr. Mill Show. Here's another specimen. This one's compared to the Hyundai Accent we had the other day. That thing was a hot rod. This is a little better of a hot rod. Check this guy out. Resurrection. So this guy's coming in. As the story goes, it hasn't run in a while, and so we're going to do what we can to make it run. So stand by, folks. Get this thing inside. Just sitting.
Yeah, there's a hole in the oil pan because it's so low.
Oh.
I'm never gonna race this fucker again, so I don't need that much oil.
Okay.
This is never going back to the drag strip.
Okay.
I'm old, I'm tired, and I have kids.
Right.
So the main goal for this time is just get it running. Yes. Just get it running.
And driving. And I put two.
Resurrection. I try to use a word for the day for every video. So the
Resurrection's a good one.
Resurrection is this one. So after evaluation and talking to my boy, the main problem is that we've got a oil pan leak. You can see this thing's hanging down pretty low below the center link of the steering there. It's not running for various reasons, but the main reason is that we just, as he said, I had kids, and so it's been sitting for a while. But I guess it was a race car in its previous life. The main thing that's taking it out and keeping it from driving is it's got a hole in the oil pan. So before I can even try to get the engine running, I got to get the engine to make it hold oil. Imagine that. Yeah, so right now we're going to take the oil pan off of it and decide, are we going to fix this one, or are we going to put a more factory-ish replacement to keep it from dragging the ground. But you know, I mean, any of you out there with something that's low to the ground, it limits where you're going to go. So anyway, come along. We're going to take the oil pan off this thing, see what it looks like. Let's see if it's got any oil in it at all. They said they started it, but no, I don't think it's got much oil in it. When it knocks junk out of the inside of the pan from the plug coming out, I venture to say there is no oil in it. So good thing we didn't run it. Oh, look at that. Well, we're going to save that for later. Forensic evaluation. We should look at that. So let's be nice and save that. Oh, we need it. Oh. Oh yeah, we're gonna need Guess I'm gonna have to get my old man glasses for that one. So, to keep it from getting in the wind, I am going to stash that in my corner right there and save it for later and carry on. In case you were wondering, I'm not going to get that oil pan off with that steering in the way. So, I'm going to take the steering out. Old timer showed me this trick. If you take your cutters and don't cut it, grab it and grip it, and you can pry it out. That was looser than I like them. That one's gonna come right off. That one's gonna need a little love. They make a tool called a pickle fork that goes in here. I don't use those because they tear up boots and stuff. And so the real way to do it is watch yourself. You're in a good place. There we go. Yeah, we got some garbage in there for sure. There's some gravel. We don't want that, but also looks like there might be some water in there. Anytime I got the pan off the engine, any engine, I look to see how clean it is. And by the looks of this thing, it's pretty clean. That tells me, you know, how often the oil was changed or how many miles it's got on it. The other thing I look at is if this is connecting rods for the pistons, I can actually see the pistons underneath. So here, if we look real close, you can actually see the bottom of the piston and the connecting rod up in there. And so when I'm inspecting an engine, what I'll do is I'll look, you know, especially when I have the oil pan off. Oh, look, we can even see the cam up in there. See the oil dripping off of it. So what I'm looking for is overall engine condition while I'm there. But also, if any of these guys are in trouble, what we'll see is we will see that they will turn blue or even black as they burn the oil on them. And so if I see any that are discolored at this stage, you know, that's a big indicator that we got a problem. As I understand it, this is a 350 early small block before the LS series. Supposedly it runs pretty hot. I mean, goodness, it's got a tank of nitrous in the trunk. What's that tell you? So problem number one is fix the oil pan or put another one on it. That's silicone gasket from somewhere. And I'm gonna do a little bit closer looking to see if I can figure out where those chunks of metal came from. I kind of get the feeling that they might have entered the oil pan through the drag hole, maybe. I'm gonna look a little closer, make sure I don't see anything where anything's really coming apart. Meanwhile, I'm gonna talk to our guy and we'll see what kind of oil pan we put on it, or if we're gonna fix this one. And once we do that, then I can come back and we can fire this thing up and see what else it tells us. What else it tells us. Anyway, thanks for coming along on another episode and another project in here. We'll see you when we got more parts. Toodaloo! So, we got another oil pan here. Front sump, more of kind of an original design. The downfall is that we got to change it. We got to change the oil pump in the pickup. And it's got a little bit of mud in the bottom of it. So we're going to clean the mud out and then we're going to paint it. because it's raw. And it's funny, when I built my 55, I did everything raw. I didn't paint anything. The only thing I painted was the radiator because I didn't like the silver through the grill. So in this one, we're going to change the oil pump. We got to change the pickup. So the pickup's got to go in the front pan. The old pickup came down bottom too low. So you can see, I'll just kind of cram that up in there. This one goes forward. And so we started to try to take that out, but no, that's not the answer because that's not right. So wound up having to change the oil pump anyway. Now, I wish I had learned this earlier, is that the more you fuck with it, the more you gotta fuck with it. I mean, the more you mess with it, the more you gotta mess with it. So this is one of those things. So now we put the new oil pump in, and if we look up here, there's no hole drilled. This is a 4-bolt main, meaning 4-bolt main bearings. No accommodation for that mounting. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to go paint that oil pan, and while it's drying, I'm going to cut this mount off, and I'm going to make it mount to that bolt on that main bearing. We're getting close that we can put some oil in it. That was our main hiccup to start with, is that it wouldn't hold oil. And I'm not about to start an engine if it won't hold oil. Rocket science here, folks. Keep it simple, stupid. Gosh, what a potty mouth today. And two things. One is that this starter is plumb against the exhaust. You can see the exhaust all beat to thunder, but that's all right. So I'm going to take the starter off, and we believe that we can rotate it just a little bit, provided that it doesn't change anything with the mesh of the teeth with the flywheel here, so that we don't change that. If we don't change that, then I might be able to gain us a little clearance there, and it might start a little better. I guess when it gets hot, it has a hard time restarting. What else? Oh, and then we decided that with my helper, we decided that there's no ground strap on this engine. So if you can see up in here, there is a bracket that's installed to keep the engine from torquing too far. This one right here. And I think that's the only thing that's giving us a real true solid ground. So I talked to him, and we're gonna build a solid ground strap. So that's a list on the things to do here this morning. And let's get started. Just give it a scrub and get the big chunks out. Really, ideally, I want to get, if I could have my way, every single grain of dirt out of here. The reality is that the oil that's in here gets filtered before it's put in the engine. So, I mean, I don't want to leave all the mud, but just get the big chunks we can. That's it. Feels good. Add some brake parts cleaner to it, make it feel better.
You look better.
Paint those inside, we'll close the doors and do it. really like this industrial paint. Way to go, Rust-Oleum. Goes on well, it coats well. As you can see, it did well in one coat. We might do another. I think I'm gonna change the light and I'm gonna close the door because I don't want dirt all over my own. Bye, boss.
And he in Norway gets compensated for his endorsement to Rust-Oleum.
You know, I'll say this out loud on YouTube, on the channel, is that it's awesome doing this work on a video to an audience because it motivates me to get it done. And it happens. One more. Decisions. It's gonna be a tight fit. Can we make it? Here again, it's 4-volt main. But part of the story here is that this car is coming off of the racetrack and we're trying to put it back to kind of just driving. And so I'm not so worried about it. What I'm more concerned about is not losing the oil pump pickup. Losing oil pressure is a critical problem on an engine.
Nice.
This poor old toolbox. I built a lot of stuff on that old toolbox. Yes, sir. Can't get it. There's no way to get a better socket in on that, but that's what it's going to be. Stupid aftermarket parts. Some of these parts are made by companies in overseas, so they put metric hardware on it. But if you're a car guy, you know that like old stuff has standard SAE. All these years I get on people for using the wrong stuff. You know, Toyotas are beautiful. Hondas are beautiful. 10, they're all metric. You need a 10, 12, 14, 17, 19, 21. That's it. My Toyota now, you need 10, 12, 14, 17, 9 sixteenths, 5 eighths, 3 quarters. Oh, ooh. Oh, right in the sternum. Oh. Man, they say it's safer to push than it is to pull. I was doing both. Those of you watching, thanks for chiming in and following along. I hope that we're gonna cheat. Oh, yeah. I really kind of think that moving forward, there's going to be some fun stuff. I mean, how not fun does it get to be a nitrous equipped 67 Nova? I had to pinch myself that I get to work on stuff like this. I'm excited though. It sounds like got a El Camino coming maybe. I know I got a, yeah, I'm gonna probably get it wrong. 50s or 60s Jaguar XKE coming. I know I got the upholstery on my little truck I gotta do. I got another Toyota coming for upholstery. You know, we live in a world where, if you've seen any footage of places like Midway Island in the Pacific Ocean, there's a whole, the albatross bird is suffering because the ocean currents deliver all the plastic trash that floats. So those birds are, I mean, as a species, they're suffering. So I don't know. I mean, why am I saying that? Because I think about our society's tendency to be so disposable, you know? And I mean, I get it. When Joe next door buys a new truck, I'm inclined to go buy a new truck. The problem is, you know, some of this machinery, look at this 67 Nova, for instance. It doesn't appear to me like it's had any major, like, structural or like paint work done to it. I mean, it got painted once. Maybe it has had some body work, but it seems to be a pretty original survivor, you know? And so, I don't know, I think about that. That crazy old 55 Chevy I got. That thing is just stone reliable like an anvil or a vise. It just, there's 2 parts to it. I don't know, and I got a friend of mine that's got a fairly newer car. It's got some gizmos and gadgets. And, you know, about every other time we get in the thing, something's, well, as I hear in reports, something's glitching and goofing and not playing well, and, you know, the reality is that the more parts in the apparatus, directly relative to the reliability of the apparatus. And we had a challenge going at one of the places I worked at, where there was a rack like that up high, and it was 2x4s, and we grab, and I don't remember if you could use your thumbs or not. I guess you could. Maybe you couldn't. But anyway, you hang on your hands, and to see who could hang the longest. And I thought, I got this. I'm a badass. I don't think I lasted 2 minutes, and it was crazy because your hands would just quit and just let go without warning. And one of the guys I worked with went like 4. Bro, it won't fit that way. I like it. Dude, how can I check? Oh, you know what? So, I put a dab of grease on the end of that. And what I'm looking to see is if it touches the inside of the oil pan. It didn't feel like it, but it did. It gave it just a little kiss. What do we think about that? I think we better wait until Wayne brings us some oil and put 4 quarts in it and see where that dipstick rides. Here's what we can do. I can install it with just a couple bolts so it's in place. If we like where the 4 quarts resides on the dipstick, then I can put the rest of the bolts in. If I don't like it, then I can take it out and I don't have to take 12-teen bolts out. There we go. That's what we're not blocking the fucking oil. So this blue gasket is made by a company called Velcro. It's a very expensive reusable gasket. Shop dog, showing off your 3 colors. Bolt right there for it. And I'm kissing the fender because my hand is on the other side. New level of contentment in what I've done with cars and where I've been with cars. You know, I always thought I'd get a early Mini Cooper, like a Morris Mini Cooper, Cooper S to be exact, please, thank you. And I'm not talking the new ones, I'm talking 1960. I always wanted one of those to chase my dad around, you know? And that was kind of a bucket list car for me. But of course, when my dad passed away and I wound up with a Lotus, I still have to pinch myself to, you know that I have that car. And so in terms of like bucket list cars and like orgasmic experiences with cars, De Tomaso Pantera GT4, please. Then you'll have to clean up a mess. You got a fuel pump. You got Wizards Select Sniper TBI Type. Oh shit. This is gonna turn into major learning on my part. What do we have? Target idle. I'm okay with about a 650, 700. Street strip. Let's go that way. Dash 1. I love you, Seth. I don't know what else to do. I like the way that sounded. Something's touching something it shouldn't be touching. brake drum. Stripe right there. So watch this. We're going to start it without the dipstick all the way. Let's keep it a little tall. Can you reach and pull up on that dipstick? Yep. No, it went away as soon as you pulled it up. Huh? It went away as soon as you pulled it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it sounds good. Run.
Smells even better. Well, so resurrection, it runs. I about promised this thing run away and hide from my old 55 with a big block in it. This thing sounds rowdy. But so what do? First things first, I'll remind us that we took this pan off, this oil pan. This oil pan's fancy race oil pan, extra capacity. The problem is that it, if you can see the bottom there, on this corner right here, shit, I can see light through it. It got drug on the pavement, and we don't like that. So we put a stockish pan on it. But in doing so, what I ran into is when I started it, I could hear a noise that wasn't welcome. How about that? A noise that I don't normally hear. Well, the dipstick is in a different place. Well, the dipstick that came with this car, the dipstick runs into the new pan. And when it does, it moves over and it barely touches the counterbalance on the crankshaft. And I don't know, I'm not trying to be all Barney badass, or I'm kind of proud of the fact that I've heard that. Don't be afraid to get in them, but trust your instincts. I didn't like the way it sounded, and so I got out my the wizard, the doctor's in the house. I got my stethoscope out and I could hear it in the oil pan. We looked and investigated, and we thought that maybe it was a clearance issue with the oil pump we changed. That wasn't the case. Put it back together, and I saw evidence on the dipstick. You saw that a little while ago. I saw evidence on the dipstick where it was being rubbed. And I had my stethoscope out again, and Devin pulled the dipstick while it was running, and the noise went away immediately. What I think is happening is the oil pan is flat. Call this the dipstick. The dipstick, when we install it, it runs into the bottom of the pan and scoots over and then starts crashing into the crankshaft. So I know I've got 4 quarts in it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the dipstick, and then I'm going to remark it where 4 quarts are, and I think we'll be in good shape. Thanks, Mr. Seth, for bringing this to me. And I may be a little rusty here and there, but I think I still got it, sort of, kind of. Thanks again for coming to the Mr. Mills Show. I'm going to button this one up and get it down the road, and we'll see what comes next. Hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Please. This beautiful little guy. You know, part of the beauty of these, something that a lot of people don't understand, is that an automobile is the very first major asset that anybody has the right to modify and to personalize and to make your own. And that's special. All right, let's put some steering together and put some tires on it, and we'll see if it drives. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bobski. Sweet little go-getter. And it's obvious you've put a lot of love and work into it.